It's time once again for the Maple Grove City Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from Northwest Community Television. Thanks for joining us. In the next half hour, we'll look back at the most recent council meeting and also look at what's new around town. In this edition, a look at Maple Grove Days, which is coming up quickly. That's all next on the Maple Grove City Report. And thanks again for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report, joined by Al Madsen, Maple Grove City Administrator. Al, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Dave.
As you can see, he's got the button on. He's ready for the festivities. We'll talk about Maple Grove Days in just a second. Also, we'll talk about the most recent council meeting. A lot of activity happened there. Also, a new police chief in the city of Maple Grove, so We'll touch on that. Let's first talk about the button in Maple Grove Days. The big celebration is coming up.
That gave it away, isn't it?
Yes, just a little bit. We knew it was coming. Tell us about the dates, locations, and what fun there is to be had in Maple Grove.
Well, July 10th through the 13th, but there are some. That's a Thursday, and that starts with the Pure Botno Parade,
right?
Which I'll be honored again to help narrate with you.
Fantastic.
And I assume that former Mayor Burlingame will join us.
Wonderful.
I haven't heard, but
we
I think
always
so.
have a little fun out there.
We do, yes. Wednesday, though, there are some festivities out at Weaver Lake Park, how to paddleboard and things like that. And so there's golf tournaments, there's tennis tournaments. Thursday it kicks off with the parade.
Right.
And once again, it'll be the same parade route as it's been for years and years, which is covered by thousands of people. We're probably looking at, I think, in excess of 100 units. They try to keep it around that number.
Sure.
So that'll be Thursday night, and then Friday festivities will kick off with the ambassador program, the selection of the new ambassadors. There are 16 candidates this year.
Great.
I had the privilege of giving them a tour of the government center and the public safety facility. Government center is kind of boring part of it. They enjoy being in the public safety part of it and seeing the detention, the jails. And I've always
a place they've never seen before.
And I've told them I never want to see them back here again in that particular spot. So, but that's Friday night, and so we'll have new ambassadors. And then Saturday, it really kicks off in the entire area of the community center, as well as, again, various sports fields, activities are going on, and the medallion hunt, and the community center area, it brings in thousands of people.
Yes.
Lions will have their corn feed again.
Good.
There will be a business expo. Then during that day and Saturday, there's a classic car show, which is on Main Street, which I always find extremely.
One of your favorites.
Oh, I did. I really love that, and my wife always gets nervous because she's afraid that I'm going to come home with a classic car.
Right. Okay, that could be a problem.
Yeah. Now and then there are some very nice ones that are for sale.
Sure.
So, and then the bed race will be that evening, and then fireworks. Saturday night starts, usually around 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock when it gets dark. And then Sunday, this year, the Maple Grove Historical Preservation Society is going to be having a history open house at the museum, which is at 9030 Forest View Lane. And in this one, it's from 1 to 5 on July 13th. This is going to be an expanded one because we're going to have the history of the gravel mining area. We're going to have equipment there. We're going to have displays there. We're going to have some from retirees from Tiller Corporation and probably C.S. McCrossan there to explain, what they did when they were working with the company.
Right.
It's going to be a wide range of pictures, samples of different ore product that comes out of there. So it's really going to be nice. It's going to, I think, give people a great view of what happens in a gravel mining area.
You bet.
And in addition, there'll be a short tape, probably maybe about 3 minutes long. They'll just kind of show the last 50 years of the gravel mining area. And so that will be very, very good. So.
Very nice.
And we'll have on display lots of different old maps and aerials and things like that. So.
All right, well, let's step a little bit backwards from some of the comments and give you a couple other bits and pieces. For the History Society and the museum, that is located, you mentioned the address, but that's next to the Public Works building. So if they're coming down Forest View and see the big building there, just keep going a little further to the next turn-in, right?
Right, yeah, absolutely. It's between, you got the old Public Works part of it, and then you got our water treatment plant.
Yep.
That's the entrance in there.
Got it.
There will be a sign, we hope, by Maple Grove, excuse me, by Maple Grove Days. We hope there will be a sign, at the entrance. So.
Okay, and again, if people are looking for that, if you get onto 89th Avenue and you either come up Forest View or get onto 93rd and come down Forest View, that's where you can find that. All right, parking is always a wonderful thing at Maple Grove Days, and you again mentioned a lot of the activities happening at the community center in that area. What do you advise people do for parking? Or I know in the past there's been some shuttle opportunities. Okay.
We do have a shuttle service from our Arbor Lakes Transit Facility.
Okay.
I would recommend parking there, catching the shuttle bus. It drops you off at various points and then picks you up at various points. Also, there is the parking ramp by the library. First level is off limits because that's for the library.
Right.
So parking can be a premium, and
Sure.
so and we limit the parking that's along Main Street for various reasons. So I would recommend that people park at the Arbor Lakes Transit Station, catch the shuttle bus. It's just a slick way to go, and it's kind of like, we provide, not we do, but the Metropolitan Transit provides bus service from Maple Grove to the State Fair and back.
Right.
And so it's the way to go. Just let the driving to someone else.
All right, so a little tip for you there about the parking, and then you mentioned the parade as well. And
that's always fun.
How early should people get out and put their blanket down at the parade site?
Some people do it the night before.
I know,
it's amazing. I mean, they must think it's not going to rain. And
Right.
lately, it's but people will put out. They mark their territory. It's absolutely amazing. Put out their lawn chairs, and surprisingly, we haven't had anybody come along the night before and take all of them.
That's good.
Take
Okay, let's
away all
hope that
the lawn
doesn't
chairs.
happen.
So, but they do come out the night before. But most people usually start staking out their territory in the afternoon. So the parade will kick off in all of its force probably around 6 o'clock. And it typically runs until it starts to get dark.
Right.
And hopefully we will not have any weather issues.
No.
We've been very fortunate over the years, all the years of Maple Grove Days, that I don't think we've ever had a total rain out. We've had, I think, one where we had to shorten the parade because of some bad weather was coming in. So, but yeah, people just come out in thousands.
Yes,
so it's amazing.
it is amazing.
Yeah, the power of a parade.
Now we're taping this in mid-June as we get ready for Maple Grove Days, and there's some people that are probably very busy right now as we speak. Tell us about the group behind Maple Grove Days. There's some devoted people that not have just spent from now until the event getting busy. They've been spending the whole year.
They really have. It's the Maple Grove Community Organization. President is Deb Syrie. She's an amazing woman. I don't know how she juggles so many balls in the air. But the MGCO is a very, very active, very strong group. They put all this together. Probably about 2 weeks after it's over, they get together to rehash, the 2014 event, and then they start planning for the 2015. So it's just seems to be like just kind of an ongoing process. So. But the MGCO is a great organization, and Deb Syrie is the president, and she's very fortunate that she has got some very dedicated individuals. One in particular is Don Skoglund. Don,
Oh yeah.
He handles a parade, and that's not an easy thing to do.
Nope.
I've been in previous life, I've been a parade chairman a number of times, and that's a tough job, trying to keep everybody happy.
Right, a lot of things to work with there. So again, Maple Grove Days coming up. First part of July, the 9th through the 13th, so get out and get involved in some of those events. City's website, great place to go to find out more information about what is going on. All right, beyond that, are there any other things happening in Maple Grove these days?
Town Green, we have now Monday and Wednesdays, performances are going on at 7 o'clock in our Town Green area. And then Thursday afternoon, there's performances, and then Friday night is night at the movies.
Great.
Friday nights, and so we've got some of the usual, but there's some that really pull out the people. It's like the Bob Dylan,
Sure.
concert and the Johnny Cash concert. That really pulls out the people by the thousands, and so.
And I've heard rumors that it never rains at Town Green, so don't worry about that.
We
right?
hope
That's the one dry spot in Maple Grove.
Right. We hope that's the case. Yes. The other thing is the farmers market, because the Thursday, the day of the parade, is also a day of the farmers market.
Right.
We had our first farmers market, outdoor farmers market of the season. Went very well, although it was rainy. It's kind of rainy, but cool and windy.
Okay.
And so we're hoping that this next farmers market that's coming up will be, milder weather.
Start the trend of dry things
Yes,
and calm
yes.
things. Good.
Last year at one of the farmers markets, we had almost 3,000 people, and that was between the hours of 3 in the afternoon until 7. And so, you get 3,000 people in that area, and we have 50 plus vendors, and so the market, I got to give great credit to both Carol and Kirsten for their work on the farmers market. Very dedicated.
Wonderful event.
Yeah, it is.
And
really
that is in the community center parking lot
Yes.
again on those Thursdays, so you can find out more on the city's website about that.
Now, it seems like a long ways away, but August 5th is National Night Out. And
Okay.
So that's coming up. But right now we're kind of focusing on Maple Grove Days, and it's hard to believe. I ask myself constantly, where's the summer going?
Yeah.
Because I look at my job list at home, and it doesn't seem to be thinning out. So there's a lot of things that are going to be coming up. A lot of construction activity
Sure.
in the area of Arbor Lakes and Zachary, not the Zachary area, but the Hemlock area. We've got the Botano Ridge apartment
Right.
complex. We've got the Sky apartment complex. We just broke ground a couple weeks ago for Silver Creek on Main, which
Right.
is a senior multi-tenant facility. So there's a lot of activity going on right there. And then the existing Arbor Lakes senior development is going to be adding on 46 units at the back for memory care.
Right.
So there's a lot of developments going on in that general area. We have the City Council approved a very large development for Park Nicollet. It's 93,000 square feet, and it'll be by Upland Lane. It'll be an expansion of their existing facility. That's only what I call the tip of the iceberg, because their next phase is a 5-story, 150,000 square foot office building, and so that's even going to be really nice facility. And then we approved a company called BioLife, which is a blood gathering company. Interesting. People should go to their website. It's an interesting company. That's about a roughly 17,000 square foot facility that'll be part of what we call the TRICARE development, which is over by Menards, and that open area there. And then Ryan Companies received approval for a 41,000 square foot office building, which will be over by Aldi's. So there's a lot of activity.
Yes.
A lot of activity going on.
Definitely.
And Upshur Smith, continues to expand, and we just were notified that Boston Scientific is going to be doing some additional work too. So
Fantastic.
there's a lot of things going on in the city, and the Red Rock Business Center. We did approve a project that's about a 22-acre site along County 81. We approved a plan for that, which is 182,000 square foot industrial building, and about another 140, 150. They now have come back and said that they have a national company that would like to build a 315,000 square foot facility. So if they do 315,000 square feet, that's probably about the size or maybe a little bigger than the FedEx building that's along Weaver Lake Road.
Sure.
So it gives you an idea as to the size. So there's a lot of things that are happening. We're in the process also of putting together the 2015 budget for the city. And again, all of my department directors are very responsible, due diligence to make sure that whatever they do spend, it's within the budget that
Right.
they've been allotted. And so, but there'll be be a hearing coming up in the coming months
Okay.
for the 2015
Right.
budget. So, just before I forget, July 7th, City Council meeting has been canceled
Okay.
due to the holiday weekend. So we will not have a council meeting until July 21.
Okay.
Music to my ears, actually.
Yes, yes.
It's a nice break.
Little vacation for
Yeah,
you.
it's a nice break. The recent city council meeting was about 45 minutes long. It was very smooth. We did hire 2 new police officers. We hired, Samantha Giesler and also Bailey Peets, I think it's pronounced. Both of them have been correction officers with one with Sherburne County and one with Ramsey County. So they're coming to us as police officers with experience,
Sure.
which is very, very good. The one nice thing, or I should nice thing, but the fun thing we did was swearing in a new police chief.
Yes, you have a new chief in
Even
town.
though the new chief did actually start on July 9th, he was formally sworn in at this past June 9th.
Right.
Formally sworn in at this past meeting, and room was filled. We had a lot of officers there, a lot of CSOs there. It was really nice to see the outpouring. And Chief Werner is excited to be the chief of Maple Grove. Just no doubt about that. So he's very, very happy.
Give us a
He will
little
be
background.
moving.
I know he came from the south suburbs, correct?
Yes, he did. He is the former chief of Rosemont.
Okay.
And then before that, he was with Burnsville. And so will be moving, him and his wife, will be moving to Maple Grove. But we had a nice reception for him prior to the council meeting. And so I think he's going to do a very, very good job for us. So we're happy with that.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right. You will see
so that
him
was-
out certainly at National Line Out, and something tells me he might be in the parade as well. He'll get
We'll get him in there.
set into the Maple Grove parade tradition.
Right, yep. We will get him in there. Most of the meeting really was taken up by 3 liquor license violations. It's issues that happened back in May, where the business or employee of the business sold to a minor. And so we had to hold, not a public hearing. Each of the 3, they're allowed to appeal it if they want, but none of the 3 did. They realized that their employees goofed, and so they're going to take their medicine. So the first one was Byerly's. This was their first violation, and a representative from Byerly's was there to explain what happened, and then also to explain procedures that they're putting into place
Okay.
to make sure it doesn't happen again. As the mayor says, we really don't want to see you in front of us again. We like the businesses, but
Right.
don't come
Yeah,
to see
not
us.
for this purpose.
Not for this purpose. And so after hearing input from the business representative, looking at the facts, the city council fined them $2,000. In the case of Byerly's, that's an off-sale business. And we have off-sale regulations and on-sale regulations. And so in the case of Byerly's being off-sale, they have the right to not do a 2-day suspension and just do the $2,000 fine. The second one was Wild Bill's. They had a violation as well, and a representative from Wild Bill's was there. And so the council again listened to the representative, and they talked about the different procedures that they've put in place. Wild Bill's seems to have a very strict policy based on what the individual was sharing with
Right.
the council. And so, but they did have the violation, and it's unfortunate. And so the council did impose a 2-day closure of liquor sales and a $2,000 fine. Now, that will, the days that they'll be closed, staff and the business owner will be working out those 2 days.
Right.
And then the third violation was Patrick's Restaurant. And that's unfortunate. They've only been open about 4 or 5 months. So it's very, very unfortunate. They again explained their procedures. In the case of Patrick's, I think this was quite an eye-opener because they have now instrumented some very, very strong, strict standards that maybe they should have had in the first place.
Right.
But sometimes things are eye-opener. So, and so they will be closed for 2 days for liquor sales.
Okay.
The restaurant is still open.
Right.
It's just that the sale of liquor, and it's the same with Wild Bill's. You know, the restaurant part is open, but they just cannot sell alcoholic beverages. We'll again determine the 2 days that they'll be closed
Right.
For alcohol sales. All three of these items will come back to the July 21 council meeting for formal adoption, because the action that the council took this past Monday night is just directing the city attorney to draft the findings of fact.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, we did have 3 violations, and we keep hoping that we'll have 0. We do have a mandatory training session that we require all businesses send representatives to. We have found that has reduced the number of violations, but in many cases it's still human error. You know, a wait staff will look at a license, and it doesn't take much to understand if someone's under 21 or not,
Right.
because a Minnesota license says under 21. But it's just a matter of sometimes wait staff, they get busy and just preoccupied with other things and really do not look at it carefully enough.
Right.
Glance at it, hand it back, and then serve. And it's unfortunate, but you know, those things do happen. So the city council did set a special city council meeting, a work session, for Tuesday, July 8th. The purpose is for me just to give them an update on various development projects, also to review the expansion plans for the Maple Grove Senior High. The work sessions, the council doesn't take any formal action. This is more of the opportunity for myself and staff to just update the council on various things that are taking place.
Okay.
So no formal action is
Right.
taken. So, but the work sessions are always good to keep the council into the loop of things. So,
Now, you mentioned Maple Grove Senior High is something that will be being discussed, some
Yes.
possible expansions there. Tell us a little bit more about what Maple Grove Senior High is thinking about.
well, the senior high, the school district is now going to 9, 10, 11, and 12
Right.
at the senior high. So they're going to be adding classrooms. They're also going to be adding another gym. And so it's a fairly large expansion plan that they have. So we want to review that, and then we'll review the second gym addition that they're going to do. Right now, between the school district and the Osseo Maple Grove Basketball Association and the city, we're adding 3 gyms to the junior high.
Right.
And it's possible now, if the senior high is going to be adding a gym there, that certainly will benefit the Basketball Association to have an extra gym or 2.
Right.
And so we're just going to review the overall expansion plan and again, just kind of give them an update. And there's a variety of development projects that I want to keep the council in the loop about, and might be some others coming down the road that, you know, now that we've got our gravel mining area tax increment financing plan
Right.
approved by the legislature and signed by the governor, we'll start to move forward in laying out a plan for the gravel mining area. So
Very good.
it was a good meeting. It was a nice, smooth meeting, and again, the chambers was filled with law enforcement folks. Probably the safest room to be in, I guess, that night. But it was great outpouring of support, and so we were very happy to see that.
Does the new chief have any particular idea of his main goals or his style that might be brought to the city of Maple Grove, or anything more will be seen from that department?
I think Chief Werner's style is going to be very personable. He's very outgoing. He's very personable. He's very good at communication. And so right now, I think he's trying to get to know the troops,
Right.
get
Big
to know the
process.
line staff. He certainly comes to us with a number of years of law enforcement experience, but each police department tends to do things a little bit different in some ways, and so I think his style is going to be very good. He also, once he gets his feet settled in a little bit, he'll start to get more active out in the community as
Right.
well. So
Okay.
he'll go to a Lions meeting and introduce himself, or a Rotary meeting, whatever the case may be. But right now, I think he's just kind of formulating his plan of bringing everybody together and So I think he'll be a great addition. So
good.
Very happy.
You mentioned a lot of the development projects happening around town. Another area that people have seen some dirt being kicked around a little bit is the Central Park of Maple Grove area. We've talked about that, I think, for a couple years, and the plans and ideas and meetings that take place. And now finally something's happening. Give us a little update on what is happening there and what people might be able to see. Possibly, is it by the end of this summer?
I would say by the end of this summer they'll see, yeah, I think they will see some nice things. Central Park is, well, I don't think it's quite 20 acres, but it'll involve, there'll be some buildings in there for meetings. There will be tennis courts in there, paddleball courts in there. There will be trails. There'll be just a wide range. There'll be a splash pad. There's a wide range of activities that'll be incorporated into the Central Park. It's Maple Grove Central Park. Central Park seems to be kind of a general,
right? Everyone has
description.
one.
I think everybody's got one across the nation. But ours is a two-phase, and so what we've done in this case here is that we've saved the money. We've popped money into the piggy bank over the years, and so now we're doing phase 1. And then we'll continue to save money and then eventually do phase 2.
Okay.
But when it's done, it's just going to be a great addition to that area. And the other plus is that we've got a lot of senior development in there. We got the Sky at Arbor Lakes. We'll have some seniors in there. We got Silver Creek on Main. We got Arbor Lake Senior. The Botno, John Duffy's Botno Boulevard project, or Botno Ridge project, is going to have seniors in there. And so it's going to give those seniors the ability just to walk over to a nice Central Park or walk to downtown Maple Grove or whatever the case. So it's all part of our overall walkability plan. You try to make an area as livable as possible and less reliance on cars.
Right.
And so I think we're on the right track. It's going to be a very nice addition, and I think it'll be well used, definitely.
Very good. We'll keep you up to date on that as that project moves along. Al, thank you very much again for your time. Appreciate you coming in.
Good to be here.
Let's leave you with the next council meeting date in case you're interested. And as you note, it is a ways off. It is July 21st because no meeting in the first week of July. That meeting is at 7:30 at the Government Center. 494-6000, the number to call for more information. And as we mentioned, the Maple Grove website, you see it in the middle of the screen. Plenty of information there about Maple Grove Days coming up, also about the Farmers Market, Historical Society. Make sure you go to maplegrovemn.gov to find out more. Phone number, if you have questions or comments, 533-1710 is our viewer response line. Give us a call. We'll try to answer your questions right here on the program. For Al Madsen, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report.